Hello, this is Dan Sanford from the Academic Resource Commons. In this video, we're talking about managing your time to be a successful student. There are all kinds of ways of being a successful student and getting the most out of college. Good students employ a wide variety of systems. Such systems are highly varied, shaped by and suited to each person's values and approach. Hello, this is Dan Sanford from the Academic Resource Commons. In this video, we're talking about managing your time to be a successful student. Good students have in common that they have a system for staying on top of their commitments, doing their best work, and getting the most out of college. Such systems are highly varied, shaped by and suited to each person's values and approach. Students with well-formed systems will utilize tools, things like web calendars, devices, or planners, approaches, like conceptualizing all their obligations as items on a list, as calendar entries, or as priorities, and routines, like beginning every day by creating a new to-do list, using time on social media as a reward for completing an item, or starting the semester by transmitting all syllabus deadlines to a planner in different ways. But what all successful college students have in common is that they've arrived at some sort of system, however informal, for managing their time and priorities. We'll start with strategies you can use to maximize your time in class, and then we'll move on to tools for engaging with your courses when you're out of class. In class. Your courses are at the center of your experience as a student, and the way that you engage with your courses during class time will make a huge difference in your experience. The secret to getting the most out of your class is to be an active learner. One of the most common mistakes that new college students make is to think of themselves as a spectator or as an audience member in their courses. This is an enormous tactical error in time management because when you use class time to engage critically with the material, you'll reduce the time that you'll need to spend working to master course concepts outside of class. Even more important, however, is the fact that adapting a passive role in the classroom places you in the least advantageous role with respect to retaining and processing information. All learning is active learning. Nothing is retained in long-term memory where it can be recalled for later use until it's integrated with things you already know. The integration of new information with existing knowledge structures takes place as you utilize, categorize, evaluate, and otherwise manipulate and apply new material. This will take on different meanings in different courses, but it always corresponds to a habit of mind of intellectual curiosity towards the material being covered. This means participating fully in class discussion. It means approaching lectures with clearly articulated questions and goals regarding concepts that you seek to have clarified. It means taking every opportunity to ask clarifying questions of the instructor and talking with other students, comparing notes, sharing impressions, debating ideas, and arriving at a shared understanding about the material of the course. Another way you can actively engage with the material of your courses is by taking notes. Taking notes fulfills two important functions. The first is to create a record of the information covered in lecture in order to facilitate later studying. This goal is certainly an important one, as missing information reduces the utility of your notes as a tool for review after class and in preparation for quizzes and exams. The second, more valuable goal for note-taking is as a tool for learning in itself. Note-taking prompts you to mentally organize the material, grouping similar concepts together, placing related concepts under headings, noting connections between old and new information, identifying points of uncertainty, helping you to far more effectively learn concepts and retain information. Notably, the second goal also serves the first. It's nearly impossible, without writing down every single word, to create a full record of a lecture. Organization is what makes it possible for note-takers to create useful documents for later studying. Make a regular daily practice of taking notes in class. In your note-taking, don't worry about trying to copy down every word. It's much more important to use notes as a tool for learning by synthesizing ideas and imposing a meaningful organization on them than it is to create a full and accurate record of everything that happened in class. Less is more, and the goal is to process information rather than to transcribe the instructor. Out of class. The next thing for you to consider is how you spend your time outside of class. Remember, in college courses, the expectation is that for every hour you're spending in class, you're spending another 2 to 3 hours outside of class engaged with that course. This is your time to study, read, do homework, write papers, meet in study groups, and access academic support like ARC or the Math Stats Workshop, or go to office hours. It's important for you to dedicate time in your schedule for each class. As a student, you have a lot to do. All these obligations create stress, and stress makes it highly difficult to learn effectively. Creating blocks of time devoted to a single purpose, for example, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., I'm working on Biology 382, gives you time to attend to everything that you need to do for that course, meeting upcoming deadlines, daily reading, homework, and all other responsibilities. At the end of that dedicated time, you should put the course away and move on to other topics which are equally deserving of your dedicated attention, making sure that each course gets its full allotment of time. Critically, during the time allotted for a course, try not to worry about anything else other than that course. Focusing on one course and/or assignment at a time is a critical way of reducing stress and focusing your cognitive resources. Bringing attention and mindfulness to one thing at a time, applying one's full capabilities to that task, is the way to do one's best work and to learn effectively. So, what do you do with that time? You're going to want to have a plan for each course. This should happen at the very beginning of each term. In your very first allotted study session of the term for each of your courses, use your time to transfer all obligations for that course from the course syllabus to a new document. Accomplishing this task will help you to think through your approach for the course and facilitate all future study sessions by keeping all commitments for the course in a single document organized in a way that's intuitive to you. Make note of all deadlines. Record every important deadline for the class, including homework, papers, projects, and any other assignments. For every deadline, think about how far in advance you'll need to start the assignment in order to meet the deadline and accomplish the assignment well. Record this date as well. Make note of all important assessment dates. Record the dates of every exam, quiz, or other assessment that you'll need to plan your studying around. For every such date, think about when you want to begin studying in order to excel at it. Record this date as well. Make note of all daily or weekly obligations. Record any regular expectations for the class regarding work that needs to be accomplished for every or most days or weeks that you have class. This could include readings, daily homework, online activities, reading responses, or anything else that'll be a part of your daily or weekly routine for the course. And organize your plan in a way that's intuitive for you. Transfer all of your entries to a planner or calendar and/or keep them in a separate document that you can refer to when you study for that course. Do this in a way that works for you, but be sure to capture important dates and organize them chronologically. Finally, you'll want to have a plan for each study session. You have your dedicated time each week, and you have a plan for each course. So now, every time you sit down to crack open your books for that course, you're going to want to make a little plan for how you're spending that study session. This will just take you a minute or two. This plan will provide structure for the session and an opportunity to check in on your overall progress in the course. To make your plan for the session, review your plan for the course, and think about what's coming up. Are there any remaining uncompleted items from your last session for the course? If they're still relevant and important, carry them forward to your new plan. How much time will these items require? What important deadlines are coming up? Is there anything coming up that you need to start working on? Are there upcoming projects you're worried about and that you'd feel better about if you started working on? What do you hope to accomplish on it today? And how much time would you like to allocate to doing so? What daily or weekly obligations need attending to? What's most urgent and important? Rank the items in your list according to how urgently they need to be completed and how important they are. Does the item account for a significant portion of your grade? Will it help you to learn the material? Create a plan for the session based on your answers to these questions. Indicate the order in which you'll accomplish the items and the time you plan to allocate for each. Remember, you can't do it all in every session. Decide what's most urgent and what can be accomplished within the time you have. Trust yourself to accomplish the rest in future sessions. A good plan is a plan that you can reasonably expect to complete. A question for you to consider as you think about how these ideas apply in your classes. How did your approaches to time management and note-taking change during your time in high school? How do you anticipate them changing in college? And an activity to put all this in action. Following the plan outlined in this video, make a plan for each of your courses. Remember, you never need to be on your own with any of this. ARC is a good place to study, write, and do homework while connecting with others in your course, and also to talk to a tutor about time management and note-taking for your classes.